There's a reason they called Oscar Robertson the Big O. At 6'5" and 210 pounds, it wasn't just his size that stood out, but his ability to do anything on the court. A league MVP and an NBA champion, Robertson was the first player to average a triple-double for a season.
7 seconds, 6 now, 5 on the 24-second clock. Back to Oscar, he's got to put it up. He does, and he got it. Oh, what a shot by Oscar Robertson.
When you talk about Oscar Robertson, you're talking about the quintessential triple-double. Oscar was smooth, he was strong, he had a back-end move where he'd back you down into the paint. You couldn't stop him.
Because of his size and his skills, I mean, you play against him and you know, he's 18 feet from the hoop and you're saying, okay, I hope he shoots from 18 feet. But he'd look at you and he'd back you down, and next he's 15 feet from the hoop. You hope he takes the shot. No, actually he's 12 feet from it. He just kept backing you down to get where he wanted to get the shot that he wanted.
There's a big O! Oscar, congratulations. Thanks, Jack. Big win for you. What do you feel? Is this better than the days that you see? Oh, this is great, Jack. Finally got it.
Until he was in the right place at the right time, getting to Milwaukee and getting an opportunity to play with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, did he get the chance to get what he wanted more than anything in the world, and that was a world championship, and rightfully so, and one of the greatest basketball players ever to play.
Oscar was really special, Mr. Basketball in Indiana. And of course, being a New Yorker and playing these tournaments against Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Jersey, certainly that's where basketball was really the center. Where a lot of Globetrotters, Knickerbockers, a lot of pro players came through New York in those years to play during the off season. So when I was told by a guy who got around basketball a lot, involved with shoes, sneakers, Izzy Fisher, he said, there's a guy out in Indiana, man, Oscar Robertson. They call him the Big O. He is really special, probably the best player we've ever seen. I said, come on, we're New Yorkers. How good can he be? Well, he came in on an exhibition trip. He came to visit some people in the New York area, and I had a chance to play against him. And I have to tell you, I found out firsthand just how much of a killer this Oscar Robertson, this big old guy was.
He was probably like a professional playing against college basketball players at an elite level. He just dominated games. A person that I had to get better every time I saw him or played against him right before the games. I wasn't thinking about the game very much. I was thinking about Oscar Robertson.
He was really one of the first big point guards in NBA history. It's easy to look at ball handlers like LeBron James now and think, oh, 6'4", Oscar Robertson's height roughly, no big deal. But at the time, this was a new thing for the NBA.
Yeah, he was Magic Johnson before Magic Johnson. He was really the inventor of the triple-double and was, for me, the first guy that could completely control a game. You could never speed him up. He could get wherever he wanted on the floor. He could make any shot. And he was the first guy that played the game against fundamentals, because you were always taught to never jump up in the air unless you're going to shoot it. And he was incredible at being able to elevate as if he was going to shoot it in the last second, make a nice scoring pass to one of his teammates. And, I mean, I just remember watching him and just being in awe of what he could do, because he was also incredibly efficient with the basketball. And you could double him, triple him, it didn't matter. He was going to get to his spots. And that was the first guy I saw that had an understanding of where he wanted to be on the floor, where he was most effective, and also where the defense was at the most of a disadvantage. And so he was an incredible talent. And then when he got the opportunity to get with Kareem in Milwaukee and then finally win that championship, because I don't know up until that point if there had ever been a player that dealt with more heartbreak. You know, the way he lost the NCAA championship when he was at Cincinnati and then had the great individual success in the league, but couldn't get over that hump. Yeah. And then to finally get to Milwaukee and to win that world championship, that had to be an incredible feeling and such validation for one of the guys who at that time was the best all-around basketball player that the game had ever seen.
Yeah, after years of frustration with the Cincinnati Royals in the NBA, he lands in Milwaukee, pairs up with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and they win a title in 1971. What did he mean to the young Kareem at the time?
Well, even for Kareem, who was a guy that hadn't quite won it. He'd been accustomed to winning his whole career, but then to be paired up with a guy like Oscar, it took some pressure off of Kareem. He didn't have to do it all. And Oscar was not only more than capable, he was more wanting to have that role as the guy. And, you juxtapose that to later in Kareem's career where he then paired up with Magic. He had a similar dynamic in that regard also. But Oscar is the one that started. Incredible rebounder, terrific passer and scorer of the basketball. And, didn't say a lot, didn't play with a lot of flash, but at the end of the night, there was nobody that would have more impact on a box score than the great Big O.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time in a lot of different ways. When he was racking up all those triple-doubles, the triple-double wasn't even a thing yet. He had no idea he was doing it, and yet there they are, the Big O.
Oscar was a consummate basketball player. He'd done it all. People don't understand how dominant a player he was, especially in his younger years. If he had played now with a three-point shot, who knows what he would have done.